busting my balls, Billy, okay?
I can already tell that I don't like you.
Fuck you, bust on my ball.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It might be your first ball job.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take for the guy to come?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bustin' Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pennell. OW20 is my squirt. I do man shit, and this is a 100% white-owned podcast. Hop on in, guys. How's life, man? We're in freaking September, huh? Temperature's a little different in the morning. You feel that? A little different at night. You go, great. Now it's going to get cold on us. Unless you're in, like, Texas or somebody like San Diego, California, or somewhere like that. I'm sure you got the good weather. But who knows? I'm sure your temperature changes, too, a little bit, huh? Let's get right into it, man. It's been a minute since I did a podcast. I want to talk this Jake Paul fight that just went on maybe a week ago or so. Dude, first of all, Jake Paul did not win that fight. I mean, he won that fight, but that was not a fight that he really won. That, first of all, was a bullshit fight. You know, Woodley, I feel like could have mopped him. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if he would have been more of an experienced boxer. He would have taken his opportunity. But in my opinion, that was a whack-ass fight. You know, but if I was guessing, I would think Woodley won that fight. You know, because I feel like Woodley stunned Jake Paul more than... Jake Paul didn't do any damage to Woodley. I mean, really, what did he do? And then, of course, Jake Paul wins, and then he's 3-0 against fucking Woodley, that was a bullshit fight. Nate Robinson and some nobody guy I've never even fucking heard of. I'm not even going to look up that guy's name. And then as soon as Jake Paul gets done with that fight, he knew he should have lost that fight, and that was a bullshit-ass fight, and he looks like a sucker. And he tweets out that he's retired, right? And he just retires from boxing because he knows. I think the real guy, the real man in him, seen what he did in that fight. You know, going against somebody that's been in combat sports. Although Woodley is not primarily a boxer, you know, but he's seen what somebody like that's been in combat sports can do to him. And especially somebody that has a little bit of a skill, definitely a skill on throwing a punch, they can do to him. Because, you know, he's trying to stay in his lane. He's trying to fight like YouTube stars. He's trying to fight like over-the-hill basketball players and sports people, or maybe somebody like celebrities that are in the light. That's what he's going after because he knows. I mean, it's smart, man. He's smart. I'm sure he's counting all the money, man. And then so he tweets that out because he's seen the writing on the wall most likely when he went back to his house and he was a little sore and he's reading things and he actually experienced things and he knows that like that was not that great. You know, and then days later, I guess he tweeted that he's like, I'm out of retirement, and he wants to take on Tim Tebow. You know, honestly, dude, I don't even know if he would want to fight Tim Tebow. Have you seen Tim Tebow's arms when he was trying to make the Jags? God damn, his arms were big. People hate on Tim Tebow. They hate that he's like a fucking religious guy. They hate that he's handsome. They hate that everybody hates everything. Dude, it's almost like people equally hate Tim Tebow like they equally hate Kaepernick. So the people that love Kaepernick, they would generally, if I was making a broad stroke and guessing, I would assume that they don't really like Tebow. Those are like the people that don't really like Tebow. And the people that like Tebow, they don't really like Kaepernick and shit. But they're both equally fucking annoying. I mean, anybody can admit that. And dude, I've never even been a guy that Tim Tebow should have been a quarterback in the NFL. It's like, look, you got it, you don't, you don't. That's how it is, man. You know how like they're always talking about how like, you know, people should have jobs in certain fields. There's not enough women in the STEM fields. Look, if you fucking got it, you got it. Go after it. Go get it. I mean, if you got it, if you got the skill, you got the knowledge, and you got the want, and you got a little magic sprinkled on top of that, go get it. Nobody cares what your gender is, who you're having sex with, meaning like lesbian, gays. Nobody gives a shit like that. You want to wear a dress to go do science experiments and you were naturally born a dude? Go right ahead. Nobody gives a fuck. Just be exceptional. You know, that's the problem with like, we got to have this in this field or this in this field. You know, I would assume if you're looking for, like, if you have an idea, like if you're doing central casting for jobs, like in your head where it's like, it has to look like this. It's like, no, we need 2 Asian guys we got to hire this year. Why? We don't got any. We had 2 Asian guys quit last year and we need to put our quota up. When you're trying to look for exceptional people, but you're really just trying to you're also trying to mark the boxes of they have to be gay, lesbian, trans, queer, black, white, or, you know, Asian, whatever the fucking the paint skin color game that they always play. I would assume you're going to miss out on exceptional people. And really, when you're just trying to fill the position, aren't you just looking for exceptional people? And if we're really getting down to the nitty gritty of it, who cares who they have sex with? If it's a guy wearing a dress, if it's a woman wearing fucking dressed up like a man and has been taking pills and growing a mustache and a beard, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We should be looking for exceptional. That's it. That's it. And then some jobs, you can't get exceptional because it's like, I trust me, I would like exceptional people to work at McDonald's, and there are exceptional people working at McDonald's, but sometimes you just got to fill the job. I get that. But whatever, man. So, good for Jake Paul and his brother. Dude, they've really nailed it. That's where the world's at right now, is where people would much, you're going to get a certain crowd of people that just want to see, people fight and box, and that's what they're doing, and not necessarily, a true boxing fan is going to watch Woodley fight Jake Paul, or Jake Paul, possibly fight Tim Tebow, but they get enough eyes with the internet and the world, how we're all connected now. You get enough eyes and enough ears and people to watch you. You got a lot of people watching him, man. It just shows you how many people we got in the world. But, good for him, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know how many of those more I'm going to watch when it goes down like that. I want to talk just for a second because I don't know much about it. But did you see this was going at Comedy Central, which is a fucking joke that Comedy Central even has the nerve to call themselves Comedy Central because I don't know. I mean, seriously, like, does anybody ever go to Comedy Central for their comedy? Like, do they ever? Like, seriously, all those years they were pushing out those shitty comics and stuff like that. And again, I would have died to be one of those shitty comics, those premium blend guys or whatever they were at the time. I can't remember the names. Some of those guys are really funny. I mean, trust me, when you do Mitch Hedberg type dudes, of course. When you do Greg Giraldo type dudes, of course. But there was like some Kyle Ceases in there, man, that were like, I don't know, how'd this dude get that? Or, some real fucking vanilla white boys and stuff that were on there, and some real... there were some killers, dude. I fucking used to love Louis Ramey, man. When Louis Ramey was on there, but I'm just randomly naming comics that had specials and premium blends and maybe half an hour specials on Comedy Central back in the day. But for the most part, Comedy Central is notorious for putting out shit comedy because they have to, because it's on TV. It's just like what they're trying to do with the internet right now and fucking Netflix and all kinds of shit, where they just put shit comedy on there. Shit. It's the same thing with HBO. Like, dude, I got HBO Max just because it came free, and I got HBO because it comes free because it just comes free with my service that I have. And when HBO Max came around, I wasn't even, dude, I barely get on HBO Max. I got on it the other night and I go, this is, first of all, HBO fucking sucks. Let alone, like, that's why when I see an HBO Max, I go, HBO fucking sucks. I've had it for fucking ever. And now they're going to do an HBO Max. Fuck you. Your shit sucks. Do better. And I get it. Like, dude, all the great shit on HBO, it's gone. It's past. It's The Sopranos. It's The Wire. It's fucking, Sex and the City. It's fucking, first of all, Sex and the City. I have to watch that fucking show reruns because my wife loves it, right? Women love Sex and the City. It's like, oh, I'm powerful and I'm just going through things. And, every time I watch Sex and the City with my wife, she's like, you do that. You do. I'm like, leave me the fuck out of this. I'm just trying to watch this shit while I'm on my phone while I'm next to you here. Just leave me alone about this shit. But Sex and the City is so fucking bullshit. First of all, most of the scenes, besides like some episodes, but not a lot, they're fucking, every time it shows them fucking, they're fucking with bras on. Like, who has sex with bras on? You ever have a woman try to have, for the guys out there and some of the lesbos, if you ever have a woman try to have sex with you in a bra, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, pop those tits out. Like, what are you doing? And again, it's TV, but it was TV on HBO. What are you talking about? When you watch The Wire and McNulty's fucking railing a chick with her tits out. Nobody fucks with their bras on. And Sex and the City, they all had bras on. It's ridiculous. And especially at Carrie Bradshaw. Did you once ever see her tits in there? Never. How are you the star of a show that's called Sex and the City and you never seen Sarah Jessica Parker's tits once? I know it's in her contract, and eventually it's probably in all their contracts because you did see Samantha's tits, or a few of the episodes or whatever like that, and maybe you've seen Miranda's tits. I'm not sure if that is, but Miranda was like a 2. Like, so like a 2 out of 10 that's on like an HBO hit show, of course she has to show her tits because she looks like fucking, like Danny fucking Bonaducci, a newer redheaded reference. She looks like Bill Burr's fucking sister. Like, like she's gross. And of course she has to show her tits. And then sometimes when they showed Miranda's tits, I don't even think that was her tits because you never see her face and it's turned away. So I know how they do fucking body doubles and stuff like that. So that's all my complaint is with that. And Sex in the City, that bitch, Carrie Bradshaw, was a pain in the ass. Like, I wonder she was single. Like, she's always like, don't talk to my friends like that. Like, it's all fucking complaining. It's all like, it's like, enough of you. First of all, you got a face like a fucking Clydesdale. And I know what I look like too, but it's like, could you put a hotter chick on Sex in the City? And I know my wife goes, she's got a cute body. I go, yeah, she's a fucking butterface. I mean, maybe when she was in her 20s, she might have been cuter when she was like fucking 20 and in those 80s movies, but no fucking thank you. Okay? She's gross. Anyways, I don't need to talk about Sex in the City for fucking 5 minutes, but HBO Max, that shit is booty. It is not good. And I get it. That's where it's at now, the streaming service. So HBO goes, yeah, we're going to fucking do that. But yeah, man, the comedy on HBO is garbage. First of all, we don't need another Tig Notaro fucking special, okay? I don't care how creative you make it with cartoons and stuff like that. It is fucking boring. I don't know if it's just lesbian ants that like watch Tig Notaro and like fucking guys that have like no personality. I'm sure they love her, but for the majority of the world, it's not funny. I don't know who the fuck is paying an expensive ticket to see her, which I know they are, and I'm sure she's fucking got a house in Malibu or some gay neighborhood in fucking Southern California somewhere. But it is fucking boring. Anyways, I don't know why, but so the reason why I bring up Comedy Central is that The Office is now the diversity episode for The Office, where Michael Scott does the Chris Rock bit, that fucking hilarious episode. Comedy Central's not playing that. So they do every episode, and then when they get to the diversity episode, they skipped it and went to the next episode. And then people noticed it, and then Comedy Central, I'm sure, I didn't look it up, and I'm sure maybe they made a response to it, maybe they didn't. But the fact that they can't even play The Office's, and also I seen either one of the creators of The Office or one of the main writers of The Office that's involved with it and maybe has ownership over it. He says I've seen him before on a podcast where he was saying that they'll have like networks or whoever airs The Office, they're asking him to cut out more, or maybe they're cutting out themselves more content out of it because it's not appropriate for now. You're talking about The Office. It's ridiculous. First of all, with The Office, when Michael Scott would say something ridiculous, the rest of the office would go, hey, Michael, whatever. Oh, that's not that. That's not they would already respond to it. But again, that's comedy when you say something that is not, that's inappropriate. That's what fucking comedy is. But now even Comedy Central, and again, you know what everybody always hides behind is where they go, well, we're just trying to, not make anybody upset. Well, you know what you're doing? By doing that, we're not trying to make everybody upset. You're ruining art. I've been saying this for years. You're ruining art, and you're letting a bunch of fucking freaks and weirdos that are getting triggered basically dictate art. And these are people, do you really think the people that always get offended, those are the people that are going to be putting out great art? Like moving forward as humans? Do you think the people that are getting offended all the time are going to be creating good art? No, they won't. They're not, and the people that generally, I would make a bet that are not making good art and will not make good art because they're the people that are so aware of not offending people. They're bullying the world so much that the people that do and will make great art, they're not making great art. They're only painting with a certain amount of colors. And I mean that with jokes and everything, books and everything. They're only painting with a certain amount of colors because now the boundary lines have been drawn differently now. And they're trying to just work and stay in those boundaries. But eventually those boundaries are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're only going to be able to paint with, a few colors instead of using all the colors. And then how much farther is it going to move us forward as humans? And also, we need great art. And most of the people that are listening to this, you know this. But that's really that's really one large problem. And also that some of these gatekeepers, they don't fight back and they don't fight for us. They don't fight for us. So the leaders of these companies, which I know people could go, how naive are you, Eric? I'm not naive. I just feel like there's certain leaders. People should be more leaders than followers, you know? And look, there's some people that have good causes and they have a good point. But a lot of these people are fucking kooks. And they're just in whatever. They've been brainwashed and they're in the moment and they think that they're doing right when they're really just doing more harm than anything. It's a fucking fact, you know? Anyways, let's get right to it, dude. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about fucking fantasy football leagues this year. I want to be in more leagues, but you know what? Honestly, when I'm in more leagues of fantasy, sometimes it's too much. I've been in like 5 leagues before, and then there's always like a league or two you just don't give a shit about, you know, where you're just like, I don't really care about that league, and you care about your primary leagues or league, you know, and those are the ones you worry about. So 2 leagues is probably good for me. I would like maybe another one, but it ain't gonna happen. And so then fantasy football drafts, and I drafted the other day. I went up to Jefferson Park in Chicago, and I've been in the league over there for over 10 years now. And I did okay. You know, fantasy football drafts are so fucking stressful sometimes because you want to get your players, you know, and you want to pick players that you want, and sometimes you get players you don't want, you know, and sometimes your buddies get players that you want, you know, and it's such a fucking stress. But it's fun, man. It is fun, dude. I am so glad fantasy football is back. And I got my problems with the NFL. If anybody's been listening to this podcast for years, look, I don't like them putting Breonna Taylor's fucking name on the back of her helmet. Not against, I mean, that's just an example. I think that's just like keep the fucking politics out of the sports. That's really my main stance. And I mean, if you want to get into Breonna Taylor, I can get into that too, how her boyfriend shot at a cop and they go, oh, he didn't know he was a cop. Okay, yeah, sure. And how she had a rental car that they found a dead body in, you know, from one of her boyfriends before. So, I mean, yeah, she's got great choice. Breonna Taylor has good taste in picking boyfriends. Let's just say that. And then, okay, you want to get down the argument of like, well, they have no... Shut the fuck up. Could you imagine if that was like your fucking sister, where it's like, yeah, she was dating a dude and one of his friends ended up dead in one of her rental cars. And then like her boyfriend shot at a cop and then she got shot and killed. And like seriously. Like, your sister's living wild. Like, if that was your sister, and I know this, like, fuck you. I'm not, this is news, you know, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. But if that was your sister, you'd be like, yo, she's living fucking wild, man. It's like, you know, keep away. It's keep away. So I just don't like the NFL putting names on the back of that. I never liked them, you know, anytime you don't stand for the national anthem. But it doesn't surprise me that they weren't standing for the national anthem, because now look what our government does. They leave Americans and dude, that Afghan fucking pullout, that was the most dumb shit ever. You and I, listen to this podcast right now, we could smoke weed all day, right? And we could probably like drink, you know, all day. Like, pick your whiskey. We'll drink that all day. And in the middle of that day, when we're having good times and we're not thinking about nothing, we could have came up with a better plan of pulling out Afghanistan than these dumb motherfuckers did. I mean, that was the most sloppiest shit. I've quit jobs better than these motherfuckers did that. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. I'm for real. I've quit jobs fucking with better plan than that shit. And I've done some sloppy quitting jobs. And they pulled out, they had all that time to figure out how they're going to do it, and that's how they do it. Psh, man, they gave that Taliban army all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. Fuck, man. The motherfuckers are flying helicopters right now. That's great. But dude, that's my only problem when I complain for the most part about the NFL is when they do that, and then also when they bring in race stuff where it's like, oh, you'll hear these commentators or maybe a player every once in a while with NBA and fucking NFL where they'll go, oh, they're only giving him a chance because he's a white guy. Like, that's like Tim Tebow arguments or like, you know, something else. Or they only talk about it because he's a white guy. And it's like, you know, the NFL and the NBA is like 70 to 80% black. And it's like, so like what? Like, white dudes can't have, there ain't no love that a white dude can get if he's halfway talented, or like he got a lucky break or anything. It's so, those are my main two problems that I have with NBA and NFL at all. But besides that, I never had any problems until they started dragging that shit into sports. Dude, I'm watching Fox Sport News or whatever the fuck it is today with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp as my wife and I are feeding our baby, you know, in the morning here. We're eating eggs and fucking sausage, and they're talking about how Cam Newton got, basically he got kicked off and cut from the New England Patriots because he didn't get his COVID shot. And they're on a sports channel talking about, if you get the COVID shot and giving us statistics and stuff and basically get the shot. And they're going on about it for fucking 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm just like, why is a sports show talking about, and I know, okay, because Cam Newton, they're saying maybe he didn't get the COVID shot. Dude, first of all, do you not think most of these athletes are going to survive COVID? I mean, really, like seriously, like how old is Cam Newton? Like 32? Like and he's one of the greatest athletes in the world. Like even today, like you ever see Cam Newton with the shirt off? He doesn't look like these fucking Walmart fucking shoppers that you're walking around and going to 7-Eleven and these slurpy fucking juju bead fucking eating motherfuckers. You don't ever see. Give me a break. He's fucking healthy. And so are all these goddamn NFL players. They're all fucking 24 to 26 years old for the most part. And they're most extreme athletes in the world. And they're suspending them because the COVID this or COVID that. Give me a fucking break. I used to be about the deaths. Remember that when it was about the deaths? And now it's about the cases. And they don't want you saying anything. That I got a problem with that. Where you can't talk about, well, these people had a problem with it. These people had a problem with it. Right now, there's sports players like for example, the Washington Nationals, the baseball team, VP Bob Boone resigns over team's COVID-19 vaccine requirements just now. So it says Vice President Bob Boone has informed the team that he will resign instead of complying with the COVID-19 vaccine mandate for all non-uniform employees. All right. This guy Boone is 73 years old and has been with the organization since 2005 and serves as senior advisor and general manager to general manager Mike Rizzo. Boone was assistant GM and vice president of player development from 2006 to 2013. This guy has been with the organization for a long time. And then they put this bullshit. First of all, he's 73 years old, man. He's 73. Look, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. And everybody knows Rogan just got fucking COVID-19 and they seen his video for the most part that went around, that little quick video. Dude, he threw ivermectin at it. He threw a bunch of vitamin drips at it and a bunch of other drugs, and it whipped its ass in like 3 days. If we fucking would have taken that approach, and I know we've had a year and a half of this, and that's the answer we got a year and a half later. But if we would just throw that at most people when they get out, like as soon as they get the sniffle or whatever the cough is, or they feel like they got a gorilla on their chest, you fucking throw all that type of shit at it hard. Okay. And another thing is, guess what, people? We need to get healthier, including myself. We need to get healthier. We need to start eating healthier. We need to start maybe do less drugs, a little less alcohol, a little fucking exercise in our life. Because look, the world has gotten fat. Okay. Is that too insensitive to say, am I lying that the world has gotten fat? Give me a fucking break. So you got guys like this. And then look over here. You got John Smoltz. So look at this. John Smoltz and Al Leader are not making in-studio appearances for MLB Network after refusing to get the coronavirus vaccine. So again, dude, Smoltz is 54, Leader is 55. Guess what, man? There's people that don't trust it. There's people that they don't trust it. They don't want it. They would prefer to just give me, give me these drugs that have been around forever. Give me the drugs that have been around forever, that have been tested, that we know the dangers of these tests, okay? Or these drugs. We know the dangers of these drugs that have been around forever. First of all, ivermectin has been prescribed like 2.4 billion times. They know what the fuck it's doing, okay? And again, you jump on it as soon as you know, and it has high fucking results of success. All right. Not everybody wants the fucking jab. It's okay. We're humans that have rights. And this is why I bring this up, man. And for people to look at you like, oh, you don't want to get it, man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, some people don't trust people. Some people trust the government, huh? Trust the government? I got you. These motherfuckers in the government, they fucking lie to you every fucking day since we've been born. Every day they've been lying. Every day they've been scheming. Every fucking day. And I'm not saying I don't love America. I love fucking America. But if you think that the government is your daddy and they're always telling you the truth and they just, give me a fucking break. You're very naive and you've been brainwashed somewhere and you don't got your eyes and ears open and you don't got your fist up. Guys, Bustin' Balls podcast on most platforms. Eric Pennell Comedy on most platforms. We're in September, everybody. Let's get out there. We still got a lot of life left. We still got a lot of the year left, man. Jump on that crypto, dude. Check out that fucking Cardano. Check out that Ethereum that's just jumping up right now. Check out that Stellar Luna. Check out that fucking VeChain. Check out that XRP that's about to bubble up and pop. And then check out that goddamn, what the fuck is it? ALOG or something like that. I can't remember the fucking initials for it. But it's out there, man. And then a few others that I'm not on right now. Please start fucking putting your eyes on it and maybe throwing some money at it. And that's my advice. And also, there's some money to be made in the stock market right now, man. Put your eyes on it, dude. And let's get our money. Let's make sure our family stays nice and healthy and we're all happy. And make sure we're being the fucking men and women that we want to be and that we deserve to be, man. And best of luck, man. Go kick some ass. Bustin' Balls Podcast, Eric Pennell Comedy on most platforms. Check me out. I'm on TikTok.